They sent me down here to Eagle Pass just to help out. My coworker and friend, John Salazar, he's our border correspondent, and I was just gonna record video. But once I got here, once I saw the razor wire up close, the Rio Grande, and then the migrants crossing the river, I wanted to show you, the viewer, the rough, the raw, the reality that is one day at this border.
How do you explain that the scene at the border isn't exactly what you see on the news, when you are the news? I decided to answer that question by showing you everything I saw and captured in 10 hours on a Saturday. Not surprisingly, overnight is the most popular time for migrants to come into the U.S., which makes mornings the busiest time of day, both for these people and the law enforcement stationed here. Roughly 800 have been detained by 8 a.m. There's water and supplies as they're separated into groups, families remaining intact until they can be processed and moved on to the next station. Nearly all of them will be deported, having come across illegally. The signs of a trip through the water, mud, and razor wire are everywhere. The trains between Mexico and the United States haven't been running this week, until today, and that actually plays a big role in this story. Many have come from South America and have hopped a ride on the back of these locomotives. When the train stops, they get off too, only realizing they're at the river, but not knowing much else. So they follow the person in front of them, and that's where it gets tense. An airboat from Florida, part of Operation Lone Star, speeds by, while the Texas Army National Guard blocks the migrants' path. They're here to contain, but also to save, if the current becomes too much. Temperatures have reached triple digits, and this game of cat and mouse will go on for hours. This border dog has the right idea. On the bridge across the way, a group of migrants watch the whole thing. These are people that use the CBP One app and will be welcomed into the States legally. More on them in a moment. We break away and head upriver where the controversial border buoys are placed. They're in bad shape, some no longer even submerged. It's tricky getting a good shot of them, but there's no trick when it comes to getting around them. These 4 men waded into the Rio Grande, 2 picked up by National Guard troops. 2 others decide they'll try again later. Back at our original spot, the standoff is over. The razor wire cut, a safe path up the riverbank secured, and a red piece of fabric hung to tell others it's safe passage. This mother and her children are from Colombia and are just 3 of the people that crossed the river today. Gracias. They still cling tightly to each other on American soil as the process of processing people starts again. It's just a snapshot of one day, but this is what I saw. Despair, vigilance, and hope. Gracias. And let's not forget those migrants on the bridge. You know, the ones that did it the right way. They're welcomed. Welcomed to the greatest country in the world. In Eagle Pass, Texas, I'm Brian Bose.